Okay, recording this video after close of trade Thursday, 28th of April 2011. Quite an important video today, and I'll try and slow down a little bit. I sounded like Galvin the Chipmunk yesterday. Don't know what that was all about. And today the video's out late because I was up trading till 5 a.m. Sydney time, which was just about an hour or so before the close. So to the charts today, closed up at 1355, about 1.5 million contracts traded. And the better sine waves are starting to go off, and let me show you what's happening here. So this is the daily chart, the Emini. This is the at ES.D contract. So .D means it's just the day sessions data here. So we had the cyclical low kind of plotted last week, and we're coming up to a cyclical high being plotted. Now, tomorrow is Friday. Fridays have a little bit of a bullish bias, have a little bit of a tendency to trend as well. So not necessarily seeing a sell-off tomorrow, or weakness tomorrow, but you know, it could set up for tomorrow, it could set up for Monday. So we're looking for this cyclical turn to kind of come in tomorrow and need price confirmation as well. And then if you look at the at ES contract, so this is including the day and the night session, the signals are a little bit neater and tidier here. Still got that cyclical turn kind of coming up, so waiting for that for tomorrow's activity. But now we're into this region where this is second cyclical turn after end of trend. So we had our trending session pullback. This is the tsunami in Fukushima in Japan, made a new high, tested back down, found support, and we're coming up to second cyclical turn after end of trend. And these are often where major kind of changes in trend take place. And the reason I'm talking about this is I see a lot of things kind of going on at the same time on my charts. So going back to the hypothesis I put up back here, this was trading quite nicely. I suppose when I was looking at this, I was saying yes, we're going to see those kind of cyclical turns. This will be the cyclical turn, second cyclical turn against this, but I was seeing weakness in terms of price here. So we got kind of I was looking for lower highs being made and then a kind of break into a major downtrend. What we've done is we've kind of got this move kind of going early. The professionals kind of gapped it up. We made new highs, and no one at the moment is kind of worried about calling a top in the market. Back here we had people talking about kind of calling a top in the market. We had Mark Faber, we had some of the kind of bigger professional traders kind of coming out saying it was time for a correction and so on, and no one's saying that in the market right now. Everybody's kind of concerned with the dollar and commodities, and things kind of racing ahead to new highs. So just this is the kind of move that would trap in a lot of amateurs, kind of break to new highs. Everybody's kind of got confidence going forward. They kind of pile in, don't want to miss the next up leg, and so that's potentially one of the reasons why this might be starting to roll over. Now today's activity was a stopping volume pattern. We had pretty small range, only top to bottom 9 points, and reasonably a high volume compared to what it's been all the way up. Got all of these kind of distribution patterns on the way up: stopping volume, no demand, profit taking, and then stopping volume again today. And the average trade size bumped up again today. I mean, today for me just felt as if the market was kind of being kept up, propped up, giving professionals opportunities to get out. As soon as it kind of dropped off a little bit, it kind of got pushed up again. Couldn't get through kind of 51, 52, and kind of professional activity was evident the whole day. The average trade size the whole day was very high, and we ended up with one of these spikes in terms of average trade size up here. So just be careful. For me, I see this as kind of distribution patterns and the right place for the professionals to kind of say goodbye. And a couple of other markets. I mean, no one's talking about copper. Well, I say no one's talking about copper. Everybody's talking about kind of gold, silver, crude oil, the euro, all of these kind of commodity and currencies kind of and the strength, but no one's talking about copper. Copper is acting extremely weak compared to all the other commodities, and so back at the beginning of the year we had an end of trend warning signal. We had all of these exhaustion buying signals coming into that high end of trend flush signal here, and we've just been bouncing backwards and forwards, and that's kind of not unusual. After a trending session we kind of go through some cyclical activity and then kind of break into the next trend move. Yes, we had professionals professionals kind of coming in here at 420, kind of picking it up, and they did the last time down here. But we're sitting at a little bit cyclical turn kind of happening here, and compared to all the other commodities, copper is extremely weak. See that Neil Ferguson seems to be kind of in the news today. Copper is king. Visited a copper mine, and not sure why that's kind of hitting the market, but just watch out with news stories. Kind of funny little things like that kind of crop up, and you think, am I supposed to read that? But anyway, so from what I see weakness in the copper kind of chart, and is this because copper is such an important commodity in terms of global growth, signaling kind of global growth. And then bond market. No one's talking about the bond market either. I mean, everybody's talking about the sell-off in the dollar and the currencies and commodities and silver and gold, but no one's talking about the bonds. Now, I've been looking at this and talking on my videos about this for a while. So long kind of basing activity here around 118, 120 on the 30-year bond. The 5-year note is looking really strong. But anyway, so we had all of this exhaustion selling on the downside, blue professional bars that kind of spike it down here, flush out, get out all the final sellers at that point. We come back to test. Testing here is weak, stopping volume, no supply here, kind of start to accelerate to the upside. Got a potential, I think we've got a cyclical kind of resistance kind of coming in on the bond chart, but it's acting pretty strong. It's not kind of giving up and kind of rolling over, and this could be the end of the Fed kind of supporting the market, getting you into the risk trade, and the flip side of the risk trade is bonds. So bonds become more attractive as QE kind of is wound up. And the signaling for QE, the first time QE won, took the market about a month to figure out what the implications with that for the market were, and kind of took off. QE2, the market started to take off just on the announcement of QE2, and now we all know that end of June is when QE kind of comes off, and a month before that happens, maybe the professionals are starting to position themselves for the end of QE and the implications for that. So I know I'm a terminal bear. Take this as you will, but from my perspective, we saw high volume today, high average trade size, low range, a lot of kind of professional activity exiting at the highs. We have strength in bonds, we have weakness in copper, we have these kind of blow-off moves happening in the currencies and commodities, and just wondering if now is the time to start looking for that kind of bigger correction to the downside. Now, in terms of tick bar charts, 40,000 tick bar chart, a lot of blue professional bars kind of acting at the highs in the 1350s today. We've had all these bearish divergence patterns happening here, fairly weak around the zero line in terms of the overall activity, down to the 4,500 tick bar chart here. Tricky day to trade. I tried to get short. Actually, I'm going to show you that on the 1500 tick bar chart. I tried to get short around here. That wasn't kind of going my way. Immediately exited, made a 1 1/4 point loss. But then on the 4500 tick bar chart, just was seeing this kind of rollover activity here, having had exhaustion, buying on the upside, a flush signal here into these blue professional bars. Here I went short at 52.25. And kind of went against me, went 3 points against me, kept on butting up to this 55.25 kind of level. Was still holding short the whole time. Should have been out down here at 51. Kind of should have got my message by then that this wasn't going to roll over today. And having had a strong trending day, we're just going to go through some consolidation. Well, here's TradeStation being really cooperative and kind of resetting all of my charts. Anyway, so yep, all my charts are gone. So listen, that's the end of today's video. Not going to put up my day trades, nothing to learn there. Ended up losing 3.5 points, so I lost 1 1/4 on the first trade. Holding the whole day for me on the last trade, taking 3 points of heat. Eventually got out for a loss of 2 1/4, but it did kind of spike up at the end of the day. So I kind of missed being taken out of my stop. So that's something at least. Anyway, so looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, we've also got the royal wedding going on. I think there's going to be a lot of kind of bullish kind of psychology going on, so just watch out, because I see some kind of rolling over pattern. I'm going to be looking at my better sine wave on those daily charts pretty closely. Good luck with your trading.